Okay, this is a continuation. Okay, all right. I'll read back a little bit. No, I don't know much Arabic, and neither did the sub, who was even Muslim for a while. But whenever he was about to download his journal onto that flash drive, he'd first put it through a translator, turning it from English into Arabic script, probably as a way to hide what he was writing in case he forgot to detach the flash drive from some teacher's computer. He thought there was no he thought there was no way they could be able to completely understand him, being that to Google Translate back then had a way of making English into Arabic and back into English sound like something written by a beat poet on acid. But later I was able to get a better translator, and since that flash drive fell into my hands, man, well, with the new translator, all that he wrote went from sounding like acid inspired beat poetry to like reading a regular poet on a tea high. Actually, reading, making it, uh, yeah, inspired beat poet to like reading understandable prose. Yeah, I was able to understand all they had written in his journal. I was able to understand all they had written in his journal. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking the sub wanted to be found out in such a way. He was the type of guy who wanted to attract puzzle and problem solvers. He wanted followers, brilliant follower, brilliant followers, if that was possible, for he saw his fight against Islam as a quest, and he wanted fellow crusading knights to join him, not to kill Muslims, but to expose Islam, which to him was the only way to save the world from Islamic slavery. A crusade, right? Asked Sally. Or a jihad, if you will, since it was a struggle he set out on. Anyway, it turned out that the flash drive was given to this sub by a fellow Muslim who was a Muslim in name only. Um, the sub called Hamza. Hamza? Asked Sally. And what was the name of the substitutes teacher? What was the name of the substitute teacher who started all this? Niles Neville, said Daniel. But I don't think his name is important. For when he was substitute teaching, he used a Muslim name. Anyway, from what I could make of the sub's, well, Niles Neville's journal after putting it through the translator, the secret Muslim name only, named Hamza, gave him that flash drive to make copies of what he was to make copies of what was on it, being that his laptop lacked a burner, and he wanted the sub to make a bunch of CDs of certain videos and writings he wanted to leave conspicuously conspicuously yeah conspicuously at their mosque in the hopes it would get others out of Islam after studying them. Niles attracted Hamza's attention when he Niles attracted Hamza's attention when he noticed Niles asking their mosque leaders mosques scholars questions of Islam that scholars just couldn't answer. Questions he, Niles, discovered when coming upon mirrored anti-Islam videos still actually circulating around on the net that Muslims were having difficulty removing. Anti-Islam videos of guys who used to be on the internet with such names and handles as Pamela Geller, Queg Win, Zakaria Botros, IQ, formerly known as of Ahmed's Quran 5, and the most devastating to Islam of all, and my favorite, Mr. Investigate Islam himself, Christian Prince, a brilliant native Arabic speaker who really knew his Islam. What kind of questions was he asking them? Asked Sally, looking kind of uncomfortable. A bunch of them. The main one he kept on hitting them with was, if the earth is round and rotating, why does the sun have to ask permission of Allah to rise again? Shouldn't it be the earth constantly asking permission of Allah to keep on rotating? Another one was, if the Quran is clear signs, why does it say the sperm is formed between the ribs and backbone and not the farj? Farj is the Arabic word for genitals, like, well, testicles. Another question was, if the Quran is scientific, why does it say the bones of the baby form first, then the flesh? Another question was, if ablution before prayer is to show cleanliness to Allah, that you have to be clean for Allah for worship when worshiping, then why do the clear signs? Why is clear signs? Well, the Quran say that if there is no water around for ablution, you can instead use clean soil, as if there is such a thing as clean soil. So, how can ablution be for being clean for worshiping Allah? Sully's eyes widened. She looked confused, then said, well, Muslims really believe if there's no water around to worship Allah, you can use clean soil? That's according to the clear signs handed down. That is the Quran, yes. But the questions that really got the cleric steamed and bothered, according to the sub's journal, was asking why one should worship Allah why should one worship Allah at all when Muhammad said seeking 1 hour of knowledge is better than 70 years of prayer, or 1 hour of contemplate on the severity of hell is better than 70 years of worship? Or, and I find this pretty devastating, that according to Muhammad in the Hadith, it doesn't matter if you act good or bad. It doesn't matter if you act good or bad. It's all up to Allah if you have been predestined by Allah for paradise or hell. That you can act pious and all, but if it's not written by Allah to have you in paradise, you'll be in hell. And if you act evil and all, but if it's not written that you'll be in hell, you'll be in paradise, making it really a matter of luck if you go to heaven or hell. That it doesn't matter if you are a Muslim or not. With such questioning, the scholars accused Niles Neville of being filled with Satan, and wondered if Niles was a secret plant by Jews to destroy Islam from within. They didn't realize that he was really into They didn't realize that he was really into believing Muhammad was right on about seeking knowledge for 1 hour being better than 70 years of prayer. For one thing, before he became a Muslim, Niles was actually no dummy. He was actually a brilliant scientist doing research on how to increase the lifespan of mice. But how he became a Muslim is a different story. It's very strange how he became a Muslim. Oh, I bet, said Sally with wide eyes. Daniel went on and said, anyway, so Leary was the lead cleric toward the sub, Niles, that it caught the attention of the flash drive's then current owner, who felt safe enough with the sub to not only befriend him, but to actually dare let him know how to let him know how he truly secretly felt about Islam, Allah, Israel, and well, just about anything. But again, wouldn't dare let any of his Muslim brethren know. I learned in reading Neville's journal that this Hamza, the Muslim in name only with the flash drive, was thankful to the real God for bringing someone into his mosque who wasn't terrified to death of asking questions about Islam to his fellow Muslims due to the fact that, well, at the time of his questioning, Neville had no inkling of just how dangerous Islam truly was. That such playful questioning on his part was like a baby walking into a lion's den and calling the lion cubs kitty cats. Or like a blind man playing with a black mamba snake and not knowing there was such a thing as poisonous snakes. It was then that the Muslim in name only let Neville in on the truth about the fire he was unknowingly playing with. That contrary to what U.S. presidents were desperately trying to lead Americans to believe about Islam, Islam wasn't peaceful at all, far from the truth. And this Muslim in name only let him know that he had this special flash drive, giving it to him to make CDs with. Well, the sub made a bunch of CDs, and in the process got to study the giant who was on it. A giant it exposed in Islam. A giant he was familiar with on the internet. A giant known as the one and only Christian Prince. You're kidding. I think I'll stop it right here. Bye.